World War I, also known as the Great War, was a global conflict that lasted from 1914 to 1918. It involved many of the world's great powers, including major European nations, and eventually spread to other parts of the world. The war was characterized by its massive scale, unprecedented destruction, and profound impact on the political and social landscape of the 20th century. Nationalism, or the intense pride in one's nation, was a significant driving force behind World War I. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, many European countries experienced a surge in nationalistic fervor. This nationalism contributed to rivalries between nations, particularly in regions with diverse ethnic groups, such as the Balkans. The early 20th century saw a significant arms race, particularly between the major European powers. Countries such as Germany, Britain, and France expanded their military capabilities and developed large standing armies. This militarism created an environment ripe for conflict, as nations were prepared and eager to use their military power. The complex system of alliances in Europe contributed to the scale of the conflict. Major alliances included the Triple Entente, comprising France, Russia, and Britain, and the Triple Alliance, including Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. These alliances were intended for mutual defense, but ultimately escalated the conflict. Imperial competition for colonies and global dominance heightened tensions among the great powers. Nations sought to expand their empires and influence, leading to conflicts over territories and resources. The immediate cause of World War I was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary in Sarajevo on June 28, 1914. The assassination by a Bosnian Serb nationalist led Austria-Hungary to issue an ultimatum to Serbia. When Serbia's response was deemed insufficient, Austria-Hungary declared war, triggering a series of alliances and mobilizations that spiraled into a global conflict. The Western Front was characterized by trench warfare. The front stretched from the North Sea to the Swiss border. The conditions in the trenches were harsh, with soldiers facing mud, disease, and constant threat of enemy fire. The static nature of trench warfare resulted in a prolonged stalemate. The First Battle of the Marne halted the German advance into France and saved Paris from capture. This battle marked the beginning of trench warfare on the Western Front. One of the longest and costliest battles of the war, Verdun became a symbol of French determination. The battle resulted in enormous casualties on both sides, with neither achieving a decisive victory. Launched by the Allies to relieve pressure on Verdun, the Battle of the Somme is remembered for the high number of casualties and the limited territorial gains made. The Eastern Front was characterized by more fluid movements compared to the Western Front. The vastness of the Eastern Front allowed for larger-scale maneuvers and battles. The front stretched from the Baltic Sea to the Black Sea. This battle was a significant victory for Germany against Russian forces. It demonstrated the effectiveness of German military tactics and led to a series of Russian defeats in the early stages of the war. An important Russian offensive that achieved significant territorial gains but ultimately failed to produce a decisive breakthrough. Italy, having joined the Allies in 1915, fought primarily against Austria-Hungary on the Italian front. The front was characterized by mountainous terrain and involved several battles along the Isonzo River.